Dude, finish that song. We already had a good song with Joey, and I want to hear you sing a little bit more.
That's all I know of that song. I'm really sorry.
I can see it in your eyes, see it in your soul. I think those are the words. Anyway, yeah. Welcome to Political Bedlam, the podcast where we play you a song, and then we try to sing a song immediately afterward.
And we play, but to be fair, we play you a great song.
We do. Producer, Joey, on the beats. J-Slide, he'll produce your podcast, he'll produce your music. Give him a shout out, folks. Like his pages. Make your dreams come true. Record some stuff.
We know we are.
We know we are. Got a good show today. Back in Studio A this time. Recording quality problem.
No B-sides.
Yeah, no. It was the whole thing was kind of B-side sounding last time, but I mean, we put the episode out, or hopefully we're going to. We've had some production issues on which I blame everyone but myself.
No, that's fair. That's kind of fair.
No, I mean, Cass is he wants to make a good quality product, and I understand that. I'm just like, put it out. We need volume. So
and there's arguments for both, which I'm sure we'll get into later in the show.
There's good balance to be had in both of those parts, though. Got a good show today. A lot happened. A lot happens every week. We also have a guest here, Minbo Sim. A longtime friend of mine. We'll get to that in just a minute. Just an interview with him, talking good stuff. A lot of stuff happening on our favorite peninsula right now.
Florida?
Yeah, we have different favorite peninsulas, I guess. Anyway, so Cass, a lot of stuff going on. Usual American story, sadly, happened again today.
Yeah, very tragic. In Texas, at a high school, there were 10 people killed today in another mass shooting.
I know if you're one of 10 people who don't use social media, that's news to you. It's been everywhere. Very, very sad. Santa Fe, I believe, is where it took place.
Yeah, Santa Fe High School.
Yeah, which threw a lot of people off. I was looking on Twitter, and they were originally saying it was Santa Fe, New Mexico, because I don't think a lot of people knew there was Santa Fe, Texas.
I don't want to give away too much information, but I know a mother who sends her kids to the elementary school there, and for the longest time, they didn't know which school was being
oh my goodness
taken over.
Is it a small town?
It's a small area. It's a smaller school, but it's in the town that it's in. We should know this.
Close to Houston, Texas.
Yeah, close to Houston. That's right.
And we'll edit that. Santa Fe is the name of the city and the high school. Excuse me, I thought it was in Houston proper in the suburbs, but no, Santa Fe is the name of the city and the high school.
Yeah. I'm sure this will be memed, but I mean, thoughts and prayers actually for anyone. I mean, of
course. Yeah,
very sad deal. It doesn't seem that this one has immediately opened up the gun debate like Parkland did. Hopefully, I think that's kind of good. It's tasteful. At least let the weekend pass before we really start getting into the gun debate again. Immediate thoughts, Cass? I mean, anything jump out at you like, hey, we need to fix this or blah, 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 blah? I mean...
Well, I don't think the time for outrage is later. I think that
no, that's fair. I was actually kind of hoping you would make that point.
Yeah.
I was like, I hope you had a counter.
There's I have this thing I say that it's kind of a joke, but it's kind of true. I don't feel anything emotionally unless it's 20 or more anymore. And that's the frequency and the magnitude that these are affecting the people. So saving your outrage for when it's quote-unquote respectable is inappropriate at this point.
No, I could see that argument being made. I mean, we could probably talk that out for hours. We'll probably land on other sides. That's the funny thing about whenever we have disagreements is like I can always see the logic of like what you're saying, and I could see how that it could be easily thought. I just disagree with it. So much of what we actually disagree about, it really is at the end of the day opinion. So,
no, it's interesting. Normally when I have arguments with people, they usually end up being a semantic argument. That's not what's happening here. Ours are a little more substantive. Again, to reiterate the sentiment from the first episode, I don't think that's a good thing. I think only the right point needs to get out. I think balance and...
you think centrism is death, if I can quote.
Is death. Yeah, those are my exact words.
Yeah,
so
we came in hot.
That we need what's the word? We have a biased media which we do, and it's
Partisan punditry.
partisan. There's a word I'm looking for specifically, being equitable to both sides. I don't like any of the major news outlets, not for philosophical reasons, but for practice reasons. CNN has the best infrastructure for any news organization in the history of the world, and they waste it on dumb graphics that they think will appeal to millennials. MSNBC is typical neoliberal dribble, and Fox is, of course, an arm of the Republican Party
Essentially.
that totes its neocon virtues and ultimately fascism as of late.
There are some
NPR's okay, but there's issues there. But I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I think Fox gets a bad rap that they deserve in so many ways, but I do think that there are some legitimate pundits on there who make points for the more center right. But I would agree with that.
Pundits are worthless on any side for any issue. You need analysts and you need.
I mean, that's kind of what pundits have, not facts, but I mean, pundits have become analysts. The good ones they flavor the description of the story and their opinion of it with facts, with context. The good ones do that anyway, and we know those are probably 25% of the people who are on TV.
That's like 98% of the people that are on Fox is the issue. But they present themselves like a news organization. Like there was.
Yes, but I mean, there was that outrage. You remember? I think it was about 6 months ago. Whenever they said the best news and opinion, they added the and opinion to their name.
It doesn't matter at this point. When I say CNN, I have to include Fox News. When I say MSNBC, I have to include Fox News. It's a part of the machine that feeds the masses.
I would say the same thing about MSNBC. I would say CNN, like you said, has the best infrastructure, and while I think they lean left, they're one of the better ones. But it's to me, it's so funny that one of the things that went viral on the right was how bad CNN was. It's like MSNBC has been mistreating you guys for years, and they continue to do so, way worse than CNN. But y'all are all taking it out on CNN. I thought that was kind of odd.
Well, because MSNBC, I can respect.
They're an arm of the
Fox has
Democratic
a plan.
Party.
Like honestly, between CNN, MSNBC, and Fox, MSNBC and Fox have a plan that they're following, and part of me really respects people who have follow through.
Yeah,
CNN has no.
So you'll at least admit that MSNBC is pretty much an extension of the Democratic Party as well.
Yeah, but I don't see that as nearly destructive as. I also don't see
probably because less people are watching it.
Well, yeah.
That stereotype about older white people watching Fox News is very true. It's very true. It's more watched than both of them, I think, like almost combined. So it's very, very, very well watched.
Yeah.
Anyway, we could probably. No, we're probably gonna agree and then just disagree overall about Fox, but I'd only disagree on like a small nuance, like. Hey, there's like 10% that's not awful. I'm gonna generally agree that the programming and the lineup are not great.
Where do you get your news?
I primarily get my news from The Atlantic. I read some stuff on Vox. It's just whoever has a piece that I think, and I judge a lot by the title, just like, okay, that sounds like the most well thought out explanation of whatever this is. And you can almost tell kind of like writing quality and whatnot in the title, and by reputation, articles like outlets like The Atlantic are going to have things better than, I don't know, Drudge. So I try to do both sides. I read Mother Jones occasionally and Daily Wire just to see like what's the pulp on both the right and the left. It's good to just be aware. But yeah, I try to a lot of things. I try to switch it up, but usually things that I think are more well written will capture my view more. Mm-hmm. So where do you get your news from?
Oh, I pretty much just do whatever NPR tells me.
Yeah.
No, I get my news from NPR, but most of the opinion I get which frames that news, because I don't think that I was complaining about opinion earlier. When it disguises itself as news, it's dangerous, but you need opinion because you don't have time in the day to understand every issue.
And someone's getting paid to do it. Might as well listen to it.
Might as well.
Yeah.
So, most of that actually comes from podcasts. Right now I'm listening to a lot of Chapo Trap House, and they frame things in ways that I think I know that there's something wrong, and then they'll talk about the issue, and they will frame why I think it's wrong after receiving the information from another source. So,
no, definitely new media styles.
New media,
new media styles are a really efficient way of, I don't know, they're more cerebral, I almost think. But we got a guest here who just showed up. I think we should launch into that. Go ahead and introduce my, let's see, you've been a lot of things. Buddy, classmate, now neighbor, the most stylish guy in Gangnam, Minbo Sim.
Hi. Hello, everyone. Minbo Sim.
Minbo Sim.
Are you? I'm sorry. Are you really from Gangnam?
No.
Okay.
I hang out there.
Chandler.
I hang
Yeah,
out there.
out there?
yeah, he's Seoul. He's Seoul. He's Seoul.
I try to be.
Oh wow. Okay.
Like he's on the scene, man. He's seen Seoul.
My understanding of Gangnam, which of course made popular in the West and in the United States by Gangnam Style by Psy, but my understanding of what Gangnam is, it's basically kind of like this faux bougie district, kind of like some of the more kitschy shops in Edmond.
It's not faux, dude. That it's for real.
I'm pretty sure it's. Is it? So is it actually like fancy, or is it like they're trying to be fancy?
It's where like the fancy people it's very hot.
Oh, okay, yeah,
It's been
thank you.
hot
Yeah,
for, decades.
that's wild.
Yeah.
All right.
It was very underdeveloped until 1980s.
It's a place
okay.
to be, though, right?
It
Yeah.
was all farms 40 years ago.
Wow.
Okay, so Edmond, yeah.
Well, way cooler, Edmund.
Well, way cooler.
Have you, dude? I named back in 2011. I did this a little early, but I named Psy my person of the decade back in 2011, and he still has been my person of the decade. Just, I love his music videos. I love the way he does his songs, the way he dresses. I mean,
My favorite thing about Psy is that he was a spokesperson for my favorite beer brand, Cass Beer by OB.
spelled the same way.
You spelled the same way. I remember the first time I saw it, I lost my mind because I've never seen my name in a formatted print.
Yeah.
Not even at those
No
little
coffee
keychains,
mugs?
no keychains, no coffee mugs, and so to see this mass beer that's really popular among Korean youth called Cass, which is my name, and I've tasted it before, and it tastes like Natty Ice mixed with orange juice, but it's still my favorite beer.
Oh yeah, it has to be.
Koreans don't have the beer culture that the United States has, and we have been growing, but check out what they have. OB is really good, OB Red.
What recommendations you got?
Cass.
Korean beer?
Mm-hmm.
Well, we actually love foreign beers.
Oh, do you? Yeah.
Domestic beers.
For good reason, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we often criticize Korean beers that
See?
the Korean beers taste like water.
They'll make better
I
products.
taste clean.
I guarantee we do have a very cool liquors.
Oh yeah, I believe that. What imported beer is most popular in Korea? That you see your friends or you see people drink a lot.
A lot of people like European beers.
That's fair. That's
fantastic.
fair.
German beers and
Oh, German beers are really good.
Yeah, that's a good choice.
Yeah. I think there's some Belgian beers that are kind of hacks.
Well,
but
because the good stuff in the U.S. right now is, not to sound trendy or hipstery,
Oh, here it comes.
microbrew. And,
I'm not going to sound trendy or hipster.
Well,
You're just going to do it anyway.
it's whatever. And, lots of local breweries in Oklahoma have some great beers, but they, of course, don't have the distribution to get to Korea. So
Right.
when you look at our beers that do have the distribution, Budweiser, which I think OP is actually owned by Budweiser now. I could be wrong. Might be owned by Coors. I'm not sure. But I keep up with the company because they named a beer after me. So
Right,
I'm a dedicated follower.
Was it after you? I really hope it was after you.
Oh yeah, absolutely after me. I came first, even though I was born 3 years after it came out.
I bet they renamed it. They went and saw little baby you in the hospital and they're like, this baby
This
is
guy needs a
awesome.
beer."
Let's we're giving him a beer.
But
hope so.
well, Gordon Ramsay has been a spokesperson for them.
Oh.
Lots of K-pop stars. Basically, there's a lot of really attractive young Korean people drinking me constantly. So,
Oh,
yeah.
Let's just go ahead and just turn the last 3 minutes of this podcast into an advertisement for Cass Beer. Cass Beer, please come sponsor our podcast.
Please, they don't send it here.
They should
to
help us
Oklahoma.
distribute overseas as well.
I would absolutely. This is America. Just
Yeah,
everyone
export
overseas.
America. Yeah, no, we're big time
And
American
I know the American
superstars.
brand is really hot right now overseas.
Everyone loves America, so
And always
listen to an
have.
American podcast. Yeah, sell the brand. Well, let's
The South Koreans probably do love America, actually. But anyway, sorry, I'm done.
yeah, no, let's kind of move it off the
Israel,
lighthearted.
Japan. There's lots of countries that love us, but sorry.
No. That's good. Save it. Let's move a little away from the lighthearted stuff. I mean, it's been tense on America's favorite peninsula for a couple of decades now. Don't even say Florida again. I can see you getting close.
I want to.
Oh, Florida is where criminals go when they messed up in other states. So, no, not Florida. We're talking Korea, favorite peninsula. Things have been tense. I don't even really need to give backstory to everyone. If you're listening to this podcast and you at least take a cursory interest in politics, you understand just the dynamic between the North and the South. But our guest, Minbo, and we've kind of been drowning him out in conversation because we like to talk. But our friend Minbo, you served in Korean military for how long?
Nearly 2 years. Yeah.
And everyone over there, right, who's born there has to serve.
Yes,
Yeah, just because the North presents such a threat. Yeah, we wanted to frame this kind of with someone who's actually from the area and someone whose perspective on the issue really, really matters. Because, I mean, we always take an interest in stuff as Americans and be like, oh, well, I think this. It's like, well, your opinion doesn't really, really matter. So, you want to just, I guess, provide us a little backstory? What's been going on lately, Minbo?
I mean, as everyone might know, we just had a summit in Korea between President Moon and Kim Jong-un. And we were supposed to have a high-level meeting on 15th or 16th. But North Korea, they just canceled the meeting because U.S. and Korea are doing the military exercise in Korea, the annual military exercise. And I guess
that's big, though, isn't it?
Yes, but it's an annual exercise thing, so nothing is very shocking issue for them. But yes, they canceled the high-level meeting, which was a pretty big deal, and now they're trying to threaten U.S. about the meeting, the summit that's coming very soon in June.
That's in Singapore, correct?
Yes, Singapore. Yes.
If I could ask a different-sided question, do you have any relatives in North Korea that you know of?
No, not my family, but one of my friends I met last year at UCO. Her grandfather was from North Korea, and our president, he has relatives from North Korea.
Interesting.
Too. Yeah.
Is that commonplace, or is it? I mean, it's been probably 70 years, I think.
Yeah, I mean, but his generation went through the Korean War,
right?
So the separation was very common, and from that generation.
Yeah, that makes sense. So
his parents are from North Korea, actually.
There's probably a lot of people who are grandparent age who have someone. Yeah, that makes sense. Well, I mean, I'm sure that's still got to play a major impact on the culture. I mean, growing up, was it just kind of something that just loomed over your head at all times? Like, North Korea's up here and we need to be ready? Or, was there anything like that was taught to you when you were a kid?
Yeah, I mean, especially when I was in the army, the branch brainwashes you that North Korea is is the biggest threat of us. I mean, they're the reason we have to go back and serve in the military.
That's right, yeah, because he was actually in university over here, and you ended up going there to serve your 2 years.
Yes, right, after freshman year.
Yeah, even if you're living in America, you have to go back. I remember that because I didn't know that until you told me you were shipping out.
Yeah, but before the President Moon was charged in the office, was elected, I was very negative about North Korea because of my military experience and everything. But what he's doing now with Trump is actually very surprising me. Yeah. So I'm very positive about unification with North Korea.
Unification. Now, when you use that word, do you mean specifically the countries combining governments?
Yes, but that's our ultimate goal.
Okay, gotcha.
But realistically, unification is very hard, especially when a democratic country is unifying with a communist country. It's very hard, right?
Yeah, absolutely,
of course. Because it's not just a transition; it's a unification. So you not only have to transist one society, you have to get it to work with the existing society, and
that's got to be one of the most complicated diplomatic challenges that exists.
It would have to require either a whole new constitution or drastic changes to South Korea's. I say South Korea, but North Korea, their constitution is going to impact it as well. So I might as well say North Korea's constitution.
Yeah, but actually, countries like China and Russia, they are against the unification. So it's gonna be very hard.
That's
For
interesting.
us to unify
Are they
one country.
are they against reunification because they see a reunified Korea as being pro-Western, pro-American?
Yes. I mean that's one of the reasons, and the other reason is there are still communist countries and they do not want to lose their partners.
Right.
And I think China is using North Korea to stand against America. I think they're using North Korea as a tool.
No, I could definitely see that. I could definitely see that.
And Korea will one Korea will get very stronger once they unify. So I'm pretty sure United States will not very be happy.
No. Yeah, you're right.
About the unification.
How do you view President Trump's role in the whole thing so far? Do you think he deserves some of the credit, or?
Yes. I give him a lot of credit for doing that, because past 9 years, Obama's strategies was very terrible, like to all the Koreans. He basically left North Korea alone, which caused North Korea coming to this point. Their nuclear. I honestly think their nuclear the process is complete.
No, I
because Obama did not do anything about it.
No, I could definitely see that. I remember during Obama's tenure, you would see the videos that the North Korean state propaganda videos of the nukes flying and whatnot.
I honestly think he did a very bad job on foreign policy.
That's a sharp but probably deserving criticism. But I do think, to soften the blow a little bit, what Obama did wasn't that different than what all the presidents previous to him did. Trump is the first one that's been a real break from the, hey, just kind of warn him, but keep him at arm's distance kind of strategy. That's what George Bush took, that's what Clinton kind of took. Trump is, I guess, broke away from that, and we are seeing results. So you would give him a good amount of the credit?
Yes, I give him a lot. He deserves a lot. Him and President Moon, they both deserve a lot.
And that was what President Moon campaigned on, correct?
Yeah. Yes.
Yes, but do you think Trump is actively a part of the solution, or do you think that his mere presence and his lack of understanding of why we've had the isolation policy before is a proactive thing that he's doing consciously, or do you think it's just his nature?
Probably more an American politic issue, but
yeah, that's fair. Yeah,
I would say, and you might. I don't know if you would agree on it. I don't know how you felt in our campaign, but I do think that he does get results by stumbling into them sometimes, and maybe that's what happened here.
I think.
Would you agree?
I think he has done a lot.
Yeah.
Ever since he was in, he got elected.
I think there's definitely been a bunch of policy changes, and what I think is so funny as a conservative is that I think his term is going to look better on paper if he just didn't tweet and say the things he said. He would actually have a pretty normal Republican presidency. Like, in terms of policy, hasn't been terrible. Appointments haven't been great. But we're drifting off into something that's not about the Koreas.
Well, I don't know. I think his let me just say this, and then we'll continue, and then we'll stop. But I think his position on immigration is similar to that of Eisenhower's, which we don't talk about in history, but it is disgusting. So, but that's, again, not part of the conversation we're having today. So.
I actually carry a Eisenhower coin in my wallet, so...
Well, we don't talk about the negatives of his history, but...
we can debate those negatives, because you just offended Ike, who's just been guarding my wallet.
Everybody likes Ike. Don't misunderstand.
I like Ike, but let's get back to, I guess... Not dwelling on America as it was almost 70 years ago, and focusing on the world now, because we're global. So we talked about the other day, Minbo's a neighbor, so he lives close, and we talk all the time out on my driveway. You talked about how the last two presidents or so have been pretty conservative, and that was kind of a mainstream position, but that you think President Moon getting these results has kind of convinced the country to kind of go in a different direction, so to speak. Can you say a little bit more about that? Because that was pretty interesting the other day when you were talking about it.
Oh, well, I mean, to be honest, I was very conservative before President Moon was in the office. I would say I was a Korean version of neocons before. Yes, I was extremely conservative, especially against the North Korean issue. But what he has done, I think he's very patient. and he's very like gentle,
Mhm.
and he understands. Like he waits. So I mean, I give him credit a lot. I respect him a lot. He completely changed my political views.
That's it's very interesting because I was just thinking when we were talking about it out there, I was like, yeah, if I had grown up in South Korean society, it'd probably be the same for me. Like one of the biggest things I'm taught about since I was a kid, like the dangers of North Korea. There's a president that's getting those results, so he's probably doing and thinking something right. That might change my political views a little bit as well. That's interesting. Do you see a lot of the country going that way, kind of more left than conservative, since this candidate, or I guess this president now who is left, is getting results?
Because the past two presidents very disappointed a lot of conservatives in Korea recently.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, a lot. Actually, a lot of people in Korea are turning away from conservative.
Are the conservative members in the government giving the president credit, or is that kind of?
Well, I mean, they gotta do their job. They
Right.
gotta protect their position. So
There are criticisms.
Even now, they still criticize what President Moon is doing right now. But if you stand in the middle, honestly, he is doing a very good job.
Right. I wish I knew more about Korean politics. I'm sure they're fascinating, but I just don't know outside of the broad global power dynamic with. Yeah, I imagine a lot's going on right now in Korean politics. Just with this is a big event. Cass, thoughts, questions to ask an insider?
Well, I don't have a lot of questions about the political system. I have, I guess, questions about the culture of the political system. I kind of want to hear about your last president before Moon. I kind of want to hear about the protests that took place.
The protests. Yeah.
Yeah.
Basically, I mean, her dad was a dictator 40 years ago, and she somehow became the president because it was very because we never had a female president before, and somehow people brainwash other people, brainwash like Korean people that she is gonna be a good one, so she somehow won, but the real side of her, it wasn't very good. She was not smart enough to be on that position.
It's
She
interesting.
got all the credit because a lot of old people in Korea believe that her father built the Korean economy.
Oh, so he's like an old time favorite.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I guess that'd be. So they basically, the older generation voted her in.
Yes. But
Interesting.
she basically let her friend.
Sound familiar, Cass?
Long time,
Stop it.
long time, like lifetime friend. Her dad was a cult leader.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's kind of what I wanted you to get to.
Yeah, he
so,
wanted
yeah.
to. He wanted to talk about that. He was talking about it all day.
Politely ask. Yeah.
Yes.
That's how you politely ask. You
Tell me
let
everything
Minbo
about
bring
the
it up.
witch.
The
Literal
witch. The witch.
Wizard and Wiccan witch. Yeah.
She was on the top of the president.
Oh wow.
Yes. Actually, a lot of like speeches she has done in China or overseas. She wrote the speech for her.
Wow.
She proved that speech.
Wow. So how does that influence? Like, how did she Rasputin her way in there? How did that happen?
Did that happen?
Yeah, was it a long time relationship, or did he meet her?
Yes. There are a lot of issues, a lot of like rumors, like between our former president and her friend's father, because she's not married. So a lot of Koreans, a lot of people say that her father dated the president.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, there are too many like rumors about it. That's very embarrassing to say.
Oh, okay. No, that's.
Well, some people say there is a kid between the president and her father.
Oh my gosh.
So
5 years ago, that would have been real big news in the United States,
Oh,
but
yeah.
not anymore. Continue.
No. Can I just point out that they might have just paved the way for this lunacy?
Lots of things. That's
yes,
another
but,
episode.
She lost her parents. Her father, both of her parents got assassinated. So she was very mentally unstable during her when she was like 20s. So she relied on her father. I mean, the witch's father.
Oh my god.
The leader, cult leaders. Yeah, the cult leader.
This sounds like a really, really bad fiction novel, and it just really happened.
Yes, I mean
It's nuts, dude. That is. Oh my
I feel
gosh.
like American media didn't talk about the witch enough. Like,
Yeah,
we
no.
talk about
Yeah,
like,
right.
oh, there's stuff going on in Korea, but talk about the really interesting part.
That should have
Talk
at
about the
least
cults.
made the memescape. There should have been tons of memes about.
I mean, how embarrassing would that be?
I think we got you beat still. But
Yeah.
Yes.
Well.
but there are too many rumors about she basically screwed the whole country
Yeah. And
for the past 5 years.
that president had pretty aggressive rhetoric, didn't he? Just, I mean, there's about like North Korea, at least a lot more aggressive,
yes.
aggressive rhetoric than Moon
Yes.
has.
Mm-hmm.
What is Moon's last name? I always forget it.
Well,
I guess
his last name is Moon.
his last name is Moon. Yeah,
Yeah.
the naming structure is different. I always forget that too.
Yeah, his first name is Jae-in.
JN, Moon JN. Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
I do have another question. Was there a population in South Korea that was offended by the handshake and Kim Jong-un crossing the line, the parallel?
No, actually, it was very meaningful because none of the North Korean leaders have ever visited Korea before, South Korea before.
It's heartbreaking.
But yeah,
But that just like underlies how important that moment was. The fact
yeah. I mean, our leaders previously visited North Korea before, but they never visited us.
So the general sentiment in South Korea is that unification should be the end goal. Like, there's no like fringe, large substantial group that wants to keep the country separated.
Well, I know that like neocons in Korea, they do support. They do not support unification, but yeah, unification I think is very necessary for
So-
our country.
to get like a fuller picture, what do the neocons think should be the end game in Korea? Do they think that you guys should just conquer the other Korea? Do they think that you should always remain separate?
Yes, yes. Well, they think we should be always like separated from North Korea, and like not even trusting or giving them money to help them
Right.
help their economy.
Has South Korea been doing that?
Yes, we've been doing that. Even our past presidents have sent the money to help North Korea.
Wow.
That is heartbreaking.
That is also, yes. that
Yes.
is-
But I mean, as you might know, all the money has been spent in nuclear development.
And I mean, we get little pieces of it here, but I'm sure you guys hear a lot more about your northern neighbor in Korea. I mean, there's still famines and whatnot. I mean, it's there's just gross human rights abuses and starvation in North Korea, if I remember
yeah.
correctly.
It's the worst place on
Even
earth.
now, yeah.
It's. I mean, is that fair to say? Would you think that people describe it as the worst place on earth? To
Yes,
live?
it's worst place. I mean, there's no like freedom.
That's
in the country. Yeah.
just heartbreaking. Really hope that the rest of what negotiations are going to be taking place will be effective. You said what day is that?
Well, U.S. North Korea is on June 12th, I believe, in Singapore.
June 12th? Okay.
But President Moon is coming to White House on May 22nd.
President Moon is coming to the White House. That'll actually probably be
Yes.
very impactful
They
visit.
are yes, I think they're
This is
going
the
to
last
discuss
thing.
how are they gonna do how are they gonna face North Korea's reaction on the military exercise.
Right. Well, I hope that meeting goes really well, and that and he's demonstrated that he can do this before, even though it's not really his personality type. But I hope President Trump listens and basically just lets Moon take the lead on this. Because
If he sticks to script, which we don't know if he will. If he sticks to script, what
I'm
happens?
the best at sticking in scripts, bro.
What will happen will be the momentum of global society. It won't be it won't be him. But if he can stick to script, nothing bad will happen. Relatively.
Yeah, I feel like this has been kind of the summation of President Moon's political career. So, I mean, this is someone who's been literally waiting for this moment his entire life. So let that guy step up to the plate and knock it home.
One more comment on Trump. If this does succeed the way that he defines it, it will. This is what he will be remembered for, regardless
Absolutely.
of every other thing he's ever done.
The one thing is going to describe his whole presidency, and I think it's very possible for him to get reelected again.
Oh, if this is under his belt,
Yeah,
he's
if he
getting
achieves it,
reelected.
yeah.
I think he is Beelzebub incarnate. He runs again regardless.
Mm-hmm.
If the Republicans don't beat him in the primary, which I think he might get a primary challenge.
Yeah, we're going to
he
talk
will
about that
win.
later.
That don't misunderstand that. Everyone needs to take note, because you think his first term has been bad. Wait till his second term.
Well, we probably agree to disagree on what's good and bad, but that would definitely be a feather in the cap that will probably propel him to continue being your president until, hey, Cass, you ready to shutter? 2024.
I don't not believe you.
Yeah.
And on to 2028.
You could solve this problem by going with what I said in the first place and supporting Republican presidential candidate Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson.
I will never.
2020.
I will never. I will, for the first time in my life, if it is The Rock and Trump, which I know is not the hypothetical you're describing, I will abstain from voting.
No, well, I mean, that is the hypothetical. Okay, so picture this. First debate. He busts out on the stage, shirtless, just wearing a grass skirt, and just.
He didn't say he was shirtless.
Oh, I'm saying it now. This is how he first appears. Shirtless, grass skirt, just busts out singing "You're Welcome," and just dances around the candidate. Trump is looking all confused.
You hit my gay little heart.
I know I did.
That
I
is
know
exactly,
I did.
okay.
See, that's what I'm picturing. I'm picturing that, and
If he runs on a Moana platform,
heteros and homos can get me together on this.
on Moana.
On Moana.
We are
Yeah,
all
we
equal,
can
yeah.
combine. Yeah, we can just be like,
There's
okay,
no capitalism. There's no communism. There is just love.
there's just
on
love.
Moana.
Let's put Maui in charge. Well, we probably been going for about 20 minutes. I guess we could wrap up this interview unless Minbo, got any just footnotes, just some things in general that you'd like to see happen in the next couple of weeks, or what you realistically think you're going to see?
I mean, I've been keeping my eyes on this issue a lot.
I imagine, yeah.
Recently, I'm very looking forward to it. I mean, what North Korea just did past few days is the pattern they have been doing for the past like 20 years. But I still hope Kim Jong-un will back up and come back to the table, because if he's not, John Bolton. If he does not come back to the table, then he is not going to be safe.
No, yeah.
I really concerned.
Do you think John Bolton will
Yes.
just aggressive, maybe spark an uprising or something? I think that was one of America's plans a while ago, was just trying to achieve a coup.
I mean, I can say that Trump and Bolton can do anything to stop the denuclearization, because we've been waiting for them to open their country for decades, but
Right.
which never happened. So yeah, I really hope Kim Jong-un will realize the seriousness of this issue.
Yeah, me too. Well, Minbo, I'd love to have you back on, maybe even in a couple of weeks if the situation
Yes, I would love to come back.
improves. Yes, yeah.
Or if you just want to talk about baseball, we can do that.
We
too.
talk about whatever you want to talk about. Yeah, we can talk about whatever you want to talk about. But seem to have an interest in this as you would, being your home. I understand that. It was great talking to you as
Thanks
always.
for being here.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, thank you for having me.
Absolutely. We'll be a returning guest. Minbo Sim, the
Thank
best,
you.
guys, the best. Back from a quick studio break. Still sitting here trying to talk about let's talk about something local now, Cass.
I'm feeling local.
Yeah, gotta honor the actual Bedlam part of our name, not just take it for granted.
As so many silly Oklahomans do.
Absolutely. One of the things that was in the news this week, bills that hit Governor Fallon's desk. First off, just side note to what I really want to talk about. Really disappointed my constitutional carry didn't go through.
No one was happy with any of these.
Licenses are expensive, folks. If you needed another reason to not support Fallon, it was not a good call. I wanted that constitutional carry. But the main one that is actually going to have a lot of fallout in the future, because at some point, let's just be honest with ourselves, Oklahoma will probably pass that with the next Republican governor we get. That's not something that's probably too far off in our future. But a much bigger decision on adoption was actually done another. Do you remember the bill number? You want to take point on this?
No, you go ahead. I'll chime in a bit.
Okay, yeah. I don't remember the bill number, but the bill, if I correct me if I'm wrong, recall correctly, essentially said that religious organizations could discriminate for X amount of reasons in their process of letting people adopt.
And we fall under the banner of religious reasons.
Yeah,
we as an
LGBT community, yeah, falls under that banner, and I think a good amount of the state of Oklahoma's just foster care and adoption systems are probably all religious, right?
I mean, that's not technically true, but for all intents and purposes, it is.
Ballpark percentage it.
60 to 70%.
Okay.
Religious.
Yeah, I mean, that's huge. That's huge. We were talking about it outside, and I guess just the point of where I arrive at it, you can definitely put a finer bow on this than I can, Cass, but I believe a lot of pro-life things. I would consider myself pro-life, but part of being pro-life is that if you are going to argue that, hey, abortion shouldn't happen, and these people who are pro-choice are just crazy for saying that we have kids that are just going to end up in the system, you might as well abort them. If you're going to truly argue and be pro-life, you're going to go against that argument, and we still have the problem of unwanted pregnancies and kids in the foster system, you cannot deny anybody who is willing to help a child and just love a child. It doesn't matter if you don't agree with them or not. The fact that we still have kids in overcrowded foster systems and adoption care, it just shows that, I mean, you can be against abortions all you want, but the problem of people having unwanted pregnancies is real and it's alive, and y'all can't not support abortion and not help out this problem and just be willing to let anybody, doesn't matter how you agree or disagree with their politics, anyone should be able to take care of a child that will love that child. And if you are pro-life, I think it's logical that you have to believe that position. So I think this bill was pretty messed up. Was I on mark there?
Well, I'll say what I say and leave it at that. But there is a fundamental cruelty to this bill to families of a non-traditional sexual orientation or identity, and to the children, as you mentioned, that is something that I hope we talk about in 100 years as one of the great wrongs of our society, because this kind of exclusionary legislation is horrifying conceptually. I just feel sorrow, basically. I can't not be emotional about it. So I don't know if I have a nuanced take, but I have a very emotional one. So
I think it's valid. Yeah, I think you're better qualified to speak on it than I am, because I can think it's unjust all I want and cry out about it, but it's not affecting me at the end of the day. So, yeah, really messed up. I hope Oklahoma does the right thing. And I mean, you probably know more about government structure than I do, Cass. What do you do to get rid of something like that? Do you overturn it?
In the way the system's working right now, there'll be a challenge to it in the courts. And
probably filed by the ACLU or somebody.
ACLU or one of the many groups. GLAD might GLAD. The Human Rights Campaign, but GLAD, ACLU. Someone will take that to the court system.
Might even go up as high as the Supreme Court, could it not?
I don't know if this particular legislation is going to go
seems
there, but a similar
straightforward
piece of legislation will go at some point in the future, because unless the blue wave is as big as purported by some, I think, overly optimistic people, things get done today in the courts when it comes to civil rights.
Interesting. Well, I hope everyone does the right thing on that. And that just, I mean, even if you are a person, and I'm not one of these people, but even if you are a person that is religious, that disagrees with the LGBT community on issues for what you say are moral or religious grounds, I hope that my case made sense to you, just that you cannot be pro-life and deny loving parents from adopting a child in a society that has way too many kids in a foster care system. Everyone, I don't know. I hate to also be super passionate like right after, but just do the right thing on this one. Seems pretty open and shut to me. Cass, are there any things just weighing and burning on your heart? Do you want to do a fake ad, or should we leave it out?
We did a fake ad. It became real, didn't we?
Oh, yeah, we did an ad for, what was it, Cass Beer?
Cass Beer. I thought you were joking at first.
No.
Because I was like, that's my name. And then I remembered that's the best beer on the planet.
Yeah, no, well, Cass Beer coming back up. Do you want to do another fake ad? Do you want to roast, we were talking about a couple people, U.S. Cellular. Not even roast them. Roast the flame of their profits with an amazing, deprecating
U.S. Cellular has some of the most targeted ads, and what I want to know about their ads mostly, other than the credentials of the man in the suit with no hair, the background in one of your commercials is the Oklahoma City skyline. If that is the commercial you have nationwide, I might consider coming back to you. If you specialize it for every region, and
you know they did. Why are you?
Because I don't want to go back to U.S. Cellular.
Yeah. U.S. Cellular, I mean, it's one of those things, like, if you hate yourself and you don't want good service, you could go with U.S. Cellular. U.S. Cellular, feel free to either send me a free phone or pursue legal action against me.
I'll take your money and change my tune real fast.
Yeah, absolutely. We could be replacing that bald guy screaming on top of mountains about how great your service is here in 2 weeks. 2 days, if we're being honest. I take the money. But as of right now, U.S. Cellular, you are subpar. I'm not buying it. You definitely seem like fourth choice in wireless. I feel like if there is a name brand and then a store brand and then like a convenience store brand, you're probably convenience store brand of cellular.
I thought I had hate for U.S. Cellular.
I don't hate them. Like, I'm being honest about what I feel. Like, I don't actively think of U.S. Cellular, but if I were doing a commercial for them and I was really saying how I feel, I just pick out weaknesses, and I never even had them as a character. I would identify their flaws. I mean, would you not agree with that assessment?
I think it's psychotic and psychopathic, and I think you should see more doctors if you haven't already.
I should.
The intensity of it is threatening.
I will schedule them on my future U.S. Cellular phone because they're going to love that advertisement. Anyway, so U.S. Cellular, see you in court. And we're going to wrap that up. And I guess, do you have anything? Do you want anything a little lighter, a little more topical before we bow out of here? Maybe some pop culture? What we should really be doing the podcast about?
Quite frankly. Just remind yourself at night that you live in the same timeline, in the same era as the Marvel Cinematic Universe. You are richly blessed. And
what would you say to the Marvel Cinematic Universe haters out there? Because my roommate is one, and there are a lot of them, and it's aggrating because I don't really get it.
I mean, do you? Whatever you like.
No. We got to be fascistic here. We got to force this onto them. You are going to like Marvel. You're going to find your movie and you're going to get over it. Yeah, you're going to make it work.
If you're not an Ant-Man, you're a Spider-Man or a Black Panther.
We're going to make this fit into your personality somehow. We're going to... So, I don't know. There are haters, but I have finished watching about half of a pirated Russian stream.
We'll cut that out.
No, we're not going to cut that out. I wanted to actually talk about theaters in Russia for a second, because I never realized this, and apparently this is kind of commonplace in a lot of countries. They show ads in the movies, like in the middle of it, and like they were showing ads in the middle of the movie that like it did not make it did not make sense in like context. Like you can tell like sometimes in movies they structure it to be like, oh, we're going to show this on TV, so like we'll kind of have a moment where it ends here. At least for like a second, or we'll cut to something else.
No, that's not how the Russians do it.
No. Not how the Russians do it. Like Thanos would be in the middle of just like really, really messing somebody up, and it would just like all of a sudden be like, hey, if you want to bet, go to this website, and it would just, it'd be like,
it's a betting website.
It would be 2 seconds. It would be 2 seconds long, and it was very interesting. And I assume it was Russian because they had all those. They had not all those, but some of those backwards Toys R Us letters in their subtitles, but. Yeah, it was an interesting experience, and I'm sorry that Russians have to get ads.
That's the worst thing about being Russian.
In America, the ads are before the movies,
and it's the best part.
In the format of quizzes, which are
wonderful.
So interactive. You guys deserve better advertisements. So, I guess just expect better. Still promoting Movie Pass. Not going to do a full spot about it, but send us our Movie Passes, please, because. Not great paychecks lately, and I would really, really like to go see some movies for free. So
we're all getting fired, Movie Pass. This is on you.
We need you, Movie Pass. I guess it was a good episode. We're still trying to get some people like Senator Langford on and Governor Keating. Governor Keating is overseas right now, but we're in touch with his office. Thanks to our guest, Minbo Sim. We'll got to have him on again soon.
Thank you, Kanye.
Something I want to do next time, and I want to just follow the insanity that is Kanye West, and I want to name that segment "Very Cool." Or what is it? No, thank you, Kanye. Very cool. That was just Donald Trump's.
You should end every episode.
With all right, it's time for thank you,
cool.
Kanye. Very cool. Which was Donald Trump's tweet to Kanye, which is like the funniest thing ever. I've been memeing it everywhere. I post it in response to people's comments.
Did you see the video they posted, the White House, about the Yanny Laurel thing?
No. I don't even want to participate because it's Yanny and people are wrong. They're fine. They can be wrong. Let's just not talk about it again. Because the dress was gold and beige, and it's Yanny. Like you people have been wrong throughout both of these debates.
No,
I don't know if it's you that I'm speaking to. I'm just speaking to somebody out there.
No, you're not speaking to me because I agree with you conceptually, but no, it does say Laurel and it is blue and black. Okay. We're wrong. No, but that makes us better.
Oh, okay. No, I could buy that as long as you admit that you're wrong. That's really important to us
exactly
Yanny people.
I was saying, but sure,
us Yanny people need to hear that.
I am profoundly uninterested in the Yanny Laurel thing.
No, I am too. It just didn't catch. Like, I mean, the fact that it was like an audio clip, I mean, it was not as good as, like, the dress was so much easier to just pay attention to.
The dress was fun for 5 seconds until someone explained
it was
to
a
you
picture.
Or yelled at you because you were wrong. It's not fun.
No, I thought that was the funnest part.
No, it was just like hand magic. It's always awful. I hate all of the magicians.
Oh, my goodness. Okay. No, I think that's a strong note to end on.
I have opinions
Did you
about
dislike
magicians.
Doctor Strange?
I did. That's my least favorite Marvel movie.
Oh my gosh! All right. We'll come back to you next week. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, U.S. Cellular, for either the free phones or the lost.